Hello, this is Amy Gahran for CaptureTheConversation.com. Capture the Conversation specializes in smart internet marketing. We bring web development, search engine marketing, social media, and public relations together like no one else can. The name of this video tutorial is Digg Basics. What is Digg? Well, Digg's a free online community where members share news stories, blog posts, videos, podcasts, and other kinds of important online content that they consider interesting, fun, or significant. The more times an item gets recommended, or dug, the higher it gets ranked on Digg. If it gets really popular, it can end up on Digg's homepage. Why use Digg? Here are the benefits. The immediate benefit is that Digg helps keep you current. Digg is a cutting-edge source for learning what's hot or important in areas of interest to you. It's also valuable for competitive intelligence, spotting market trends, and so on. This benefit may seem kind of mundane, but it can be surprisingly important because the key to benefiting from Digg is to learn how to enjoy and value it for what it is. Remember, Digg is a community, not a marketing channel. You'll get out of it what you put into it, and probably a great deal more. That said, Digg can offer marketing and PR benefits too. Attracting attention. When your content or content that mentions you or your organization gets popular on Digg, you can expect large traffic spikes, more inbound links, and other effects that offer residual long-term benefits. Become more findable. Consider Digg part of your search visibility program. Digg gets indexed daily by search engines like Google. If your content is ranked highly on Digg, that usually improves how you rank in search engine results. Gain influence. When you routinely and actively participate in Digg, not just to promote yourself, but to offer value to that community, people will start to notice your areas of expertise and follow your lead. Okay, let's get started. First, you want to set up your free account with Digg. On the Digg homepage, you'll see a link in the top right corner, Join Digg. Click that link. That takes you to the registration page. Once there, you'll need to choose a username. This is pretty important, so think it over carefully. Your username has to be between 4 and 15 letters or numbers, no spaces, and it's case sensitive. If you want to use Digg to enhance your reputation in a specific field, your username can reflect that. For instance, among other things, I cover sustainable energy news. I have a real passion for this topic. So let's try the username Energy Geek and see whether it's available. Yay, it's available! Next, you have to provide a working email address. This address cannot be used by any other Digg member. The rest of the registration process is pretty standard. Once you submit that form, Digg will send you a confirmation email. But while you're waiting for that, it just takes a few seconds to get that email, it's a good idea to start filling out your Digg profile. Remember, one reason to use Digg is to gain influence, and people are more likely to be willing to be influenced by you if they know a few things about you. Trust builds community. So before you check your email, fill out and submit this quick form. Okay, here's that Digg confirmation message in my email. I'm clicking the link to confirm my account, and that's it. I now have a Digg account. Now let's take a moment to explore Digg a little bit. It can be a little confusing at first. Let's return to the Digg homepage, and again that's digg.com. When Digg first started, it focused on technology news, and hence the Digg community is very strongly tech-focused. However, techno geeks do have other interests, believe it or not, so Digg added other news categories, including science, world and business, sports, entertainment, and gaming. Each of these news topics has several subtopics. For instance, if you click on World and Business News, you'll see these subtopics. Let's look at the business and finance news. Here you'll see the most popular items in this category, from newest to oldest. Now, popularity in Digg is gauged by how often an item has been dug or recommended by users. Now, in this first item, this big number over here shows you how many people found this story worth recommending. So you can consider the popular items in Digg as vetted, in a sense, by the Digg community. Digg has its own secret algorithms for determining when exactly an item becomes popular. Notice that right now we're looking at the newly popular stories list on Digg. And the newest of these is more than a day old. Now, does this mean nobody has dug any business or finance stories in the last day or more? No. When an item first gets dug, it gets listed as upcoming for 12 to 24 hours, depending on the popularity of the relevant topic. So let's take a look at what's upcoming in business and finance news. Now, you'll see these items are much more recent, but if you look at the number, they've hardly been dug at all. Now, Digg says, after 12 to 24 hours, if an upcoming story has not been promoted to the homepage, and that happens when it gets popular enough, when it reaches a tipping point, it falls out of the queue. That means if you dig a story, but not enough people also dig it, it stops getting listed in Digg's site. What's in a Digg item? Let's look at one recent Digg item. This is currently the newest popular item in Digg's business and finance news category. Now, first you'll see there's a headline, of course. That headline is a direct link to the story at its original location. So we click it, the story comes up. Now, that big number at the left shows how many members have dug that story so far. Under the headline, you can see which Digg member originally submitted that story. And if you click that name, you can see their profile. And of course, you can see the source of the story, where it came from. When you dig a story, you must write a brief summary that explains what the story is about and why you found it worth a dig. Just click that More link, and that takes you to the Digg page for that particular item. On a Digg items page, you get to see more interesting stuff, like comments members have left about an item. How to dig a story. Now, the simplest way is to dig a story that's already been done. Any item that's already on Digg has a Dig It link. Just click that, and you'll see the number of digs update immediately. Notice that then changes to dug. You can't dig the same item more than once. Now say you're reading one of your favorite online news sources, such as maybe Green Car Journal. Okay, well that's one of my favorite sites. Anyway, there's a cool story there about a new hybrid sedan from Toyota. I think this story is worth digging. To dig this story, I first copy the story's URL, right up there in the location bar of the browser. Then, in a separate browser tab, I open Digg.com. Now I go up into the search field in the corner and I paste the story's URL into the search field. The reason I do that first is I want to check whether anybody else has already dug that story. In this case, nope, I'm the first person to dig this story. That's cool. I click back to the Digg homepage and then I click the Submit a New Story link. Then I paste the story's URL into the field, where is this story from? And when you hit continue, you'll be taken to the Submit Story page. On the Submit a Story form, you want to enter the story title. Now, if the blog post or article's original headline makes sense out of context and really gets to the so what of the story, you can just copy and paste that. But otherwise, if the headline wouldn't work on its own, write a new headline that makes sense out of context and that implies why this story matters. It can be up to 75 characters, that includes spaces. For this story, the original headline was Toyota Camry Hybrid. Well, that's kind of bland. So I augmented it with Toyota Camry Hybrid 2007, affordable. That says what it's about and why I think it matters. Next, you want to write a brief description about the news story. Now that can be up to 350 characters, including spaces. Put a little thought into this. The point is to explain what's so interesting, important, or fun about this story in a way that might get other Digg readers interested. But don't just blindly grab the lead of the story. It might not work well for Digg. Here's how I summed up this story. For 2007, Toyota debuted a hybrid version of its top-selling sedan, the Camry, for $25,900. This is a quick rundown of its key features: engine type, transmission, electrical system efficiency, etc. In contrast to the performance-oriented Honda Accord hybrid, Toyota is hoping that today's buyers will like this car's efficiency-minded balance. Notice that Digg will check your spelling too if you like. Next, you want to pick a topic, just one. Try to find the best fit you can. It's not always easy. Their categories are, I find them kind of amorphous. But in this case, I think environment is a better fit than business and finance. Finally, do the CAPTCHA test, prove you're human, and submit the story. But wait! Other people have dug similar stories. Digg wants to make sure yours isn't a duplicate. I'm looking it over and nope, my story isn't listed there. So I'll go ahead and submit it. Now some news sites or blogs make it easy for you to dig their stories. They include a Dig This link with every posting. One such site is Renewable Energy Access. Now over here, this looks like an interesting story. In fact, I know it is. I already read it. If you look down into the left-hand sidebar, you see where it says Recommend this story. Let's click on the Dig option there. You get taken to Digg, logged into your account, and the story URL is already in the Submit Story form. You just need to fill in the rest. That brings us to the next point. You can and should encourage people to dig your content. The easiest way to do this is to install a tool on your website that posts a Dig This Story link on every item you publish. Now that you've gotten a basic overview of Digg and how it works, here's a few tips. 1. Make posting a habit. Try to dig at least once or twice a day. 2. Read Digg daily. Try, at least for a while, making it your first stop when you need a news fix. 3. Leave comments. This is a community, so participate in conversations. Thanks for listening to this video tutorial on Digg Basics. Please visit CaptureTheConversation.com for more video tutorials. Feel free to contact us to suggest topics for future tutorials. Also, don't miss our reports in our Capture the Conversation blog, which tells you how to make the most out of online marketing and conversational media. Again, this is Amy Gahran for Capture the Conversation. Thanks.